Hello everyone, today we are looking at the Addiesdive AD2066. This watch comes in at around £46, $64 or 5,500 rupees. Be aware that AliExpress prices do change quite a lot though, so you may be able to get it a little bit cheaper. For the money, you're getting a 36mm stainless steel watch that is 11mm thick. You've got 100 meters of water resistance, mineral crystal. You've got a screw down crown and a screw down case back. And it's got a VH31 movement inside, which means it's got the rather nice sweeping second hand. For full disclosure, Addiesdive sent me this watch to review. I just paid for the postage charges. That isn't going to impact the way I review this watch at all though. It's available with a mint green dial like the one I have here, or there is a grey version or a white version. For what it's worth, I think this mint green one is probably the best of the bunch. It comes in your standard Addiesdive box, which is, it's a box, it does a job, with all the usual stuff you'd expect inside. I don't really care much for watch boxes, so I'm not going to dwell on this too much. Now, we've got an Oyster style case on this watch, and initially I thought it was an original design from Addiesdive, but the dial is very much like a Longines Conquest, which admittedly isn't a watch I was really familiar with before this one arrived. Now, if you do know Addiesdive watches, you may be familiar with the Addiesdive AD2030, which was quite popular around about a year or so back. Now, I bought this watch myself fairly recently, and you'll notice that the case and the bracelet are identical on both watches. Frustratingly, Addiesdive make this with 19mm lugs, which is an odd choice because I don't think a lot of people have got 19mm straps in their collection. I certainly don't have any. Now, I think this design is classed as a Garda watch, that is, go anywhere, do anything. Now, I don't really understand why watches like this are called a go anywhere, do anything watch, because I certainly wouldn't be gardening or trying to repair my car with this watch on. So not really a go anywhere, do anything watch to me. But it is what it is. When I first received this watch, I opened the packaging, took a look at the watch, and because this isn't a design I would have ordered myself, I didn't ever look at this on AliExpress and think that's a watch I really want. It's a bit of an unusual one for me to review because every watch I've reviewed to date is a watch that I've bought because I like it. But we have to give it a fair crack of the whip. Let's start with the case. So the case is very well done, very well put together. We've got a combination of polishing and brushing. So the bezel is polished and the sides of the case are polished and the top of the case is brushed and the rear of the case is brushed too. And it looks very good, feels very well put together. We've got the Addiesdive logo on the crown here, and the crown is a nice size actually. Sometimes these smaller watches, this being a 36mm watch, have very small crowns, but this is, I think, nicely balanced. The dial itself has got this sunburst effect on it, which works very nice in sunlight. It does really jump out and catches the light well, looks very expensive. And it's got these concentric circles at the edges of the dial, which add a nice touch as well and just change that light balance a little bit before we get to the chapter ring on the outside. Now, as I've owned this watch, the design has grown on me quite a lot. So I mentioned earlier on that I bought the AD2030 myself, and initially I preferred the AD2030 over the AD2066, but I'm thinking now, having had this watch for a couple of weeks, I'm preferring the 2066. I just think it's a little bit more sleek. Obviously, some differences. Addiesdive are not using the full logo on the 2066, so we've just got this script style font. They've also dropped the word Deep Sea Hunter that appears on the 2030, which seemed an odd choice because it's not a dive watch, and now we just have the meter rating there. Nice touches actually, make it quite elegant looking. I also think I prefer the markers and the handset on the 2066 as well, particularly when you look at them side by side. I do like the 2030, but I just feel the 26 is a little bit more elegant overall. We also have Lume on the markers and the hour and minute hands. I'll show you a Lume shot a little later on. And you may just be noticing that AR coating on the mineral crystal too as I'm moving this around in the light. The bracelet I think is quite good. It's not absolutely brilliant, but generally it's quite good. It's got this brushed finish to it, which I think is better than having a polished bracelet. It's certainly more to my taste. It jangles a little bit, but not when it's on the wrist, so I don't really worry about that. Generally, I think the bracelet is pretty good. We've got 6 positions of micro adjustment on this one, and the clasp works quite well and is stamped with the Addiesdive logo too, the full logo this time. On the wrist, we have a very elegant looking watch. I think this 36mm size is really great on my wrist. I really should stick to wearing smaller watches because I think this is pretty much the perfect fit. It comes in at about 115 grams, so you know you're wearing this watch. It's not super light, but it never would be with all this steel on your wrist. Feels about right for what it is. But generally, a comfortable watch, no issues there. There's no sharpness or anything like that from the strap anywhere. It doesn't pinch my skin or anything like that. Feels very nice on and looks great too. Onto the Lume now. Here you can see the time lapse of that Lume. It's okay, it's not brilliant. There's not an awful lot of Lume on there. And with it being more of a kind of, this to me is more of a dress watch. I don't worry about Lume too much. I'd probably be a little bit harsher if this was a field watch or something like that. It's okay, it's not great by any stretch. My final thoughts on this Addiesdive AD2066. I feel like this is a well-produced watch, very well done. I'm always impressed by Addiesdive watches. They are finished excellently for the price. I mean, these are very cheap watches and they don't feel cheap at all. The main issues with this watch are the 19mm lugs is just a crazy choice. We could easily have these lugs being 18 or 20mm, and people are likely to have straps in their collection which they could swap out with. I would like to see this on some other straps, but I just don't have the straps to support it, so unfortunately I'm not able to show you that. Seems a mad choice from Addiesdive. I think they could comfortably go away and fix this, and it just makes it a lot more accessible to a lot of people. And then the Lume, it's okay, it's not brilliant, but beyond that, I think this is a very good watch. If you are into this style of watch, I don't think you can go wrong here, really. I think this is a very good watch. It feels about twice the price, if not 3 times the price of what you're actually paying for it. I'm all for it. Great watch from Addiesdive. Let's just sort those lugs out, please.